The bye week has come and gone. It's now time to turn our hate to the Gators. Fuck the Gators. It's Gator hate week.
Little ass lizards.
The jort wearing motherfuckers, man. Simple as that. That's the way to start off the DGD podcast, right? That's
100%.
Now, as always, Robert Reynolds, Keon here as well. Guys, we're talking expectations, right? It's time to fucking go. But some shit popped off today that has to get brought up. And I think
let's talk about it.
I think we need to do this now to get it while it's super fresh. And then we turn our attention back to Florida and the rest of the season. If you're not familiar, or if you haven't heard, Michigan staff are accused, and with evidence, by the way, that basically went and bought tickets to games for teams that they were playing for. Stealing signs, right, sitting there. Pete Thamel broke the news. I actually have a clip here. Some of the more recent findings, I guess, earlier today. I'm gonna play this and kind of give you some context. So for those listening, just stick around and listen to this.
Sources confirmed to me that on Saturday, when Penn State played Ohio State, Stallions had purchased tickets on both sides of the stadium, meaning the opposing bench and the home bench, and the visitors bench. Michigan obviously has two key games left on its schedule against Penn State and Ohio State, and buying tickets to put yourself in position to see the signals of both teams would certainly be something that would add to this operation.
That's just a little bit of the scope of this stuff. This has been going on for over 3 years. What they were saying. Yeah, that's a bad look, and I worry about what it impacts college football. Like, I think it's more than just a Michigan problem. I think it just became a college football problem. Maybe that's just me, but and listen, it's still, for what it's worth, right? You have the pending investigation and stuff like this, but you're already seeing some evidence. Just go on to Twitter/X and you will understand where we're coming from. There's all these things, like you've seen laminated play cards that show signals, just all types of stuff. Keon, I'm gonna let you go ahead.
There was a transaction that occurred the day before we played in our Peach game, in the Peach Bowl game against Ohio State. So that tells me, along with, even just hearing and reading different things about Michigan having a Georgia period, uh, kind of interesting to me how that happened. Because yet again, there is direct transactions that occurred right before, literally the day before we played Ohio State.
Yeah,
Um,
I know there was, I mean, just stuff all over Twitter, like I said, but they showed t-shirt purchases right through Venmo. Right, the guy had cleared his social media, scrubbed that, and swiped all that stuff. But it sounds like they got Venmo and stuff. There was a lot of t-shirt purchases. It's just weird,
yeah,
just
a lot
weird.
of a lot of donations allegedly.
Yeah, listen. The thing is, too, is like I'm not pocket watching, but all the tickets that man must have spent, the money that was spent there, doesn't add up to what that salary tells me to be.
Buddy, I'm gonna tell you this, and this is really what puts it all in the scope for me. I got a ticket for the Tennessee game. I'm sitting in section Z. My ticket was over $700, well over. And that's just like I'm sitting right at the goal line
Yeah.
and kneeling. So you
Well,
telling me that this guy is bought tickets on both sides to sit right behind the bench, right down on the 50?
I
Oh,
mean,
you didn't
perfect.
came out a grip and a half for those tickets
Well,
easily.
that's my thought too, man. It's like, you know, for what it's worth, I find it laughable to me. I really do. That you probably went and paid for tickets to go try to steal signs from like Northwestern and Rutgers. Like, do you really need that? Now, I mean, the Ohio State thing, the Penn State thing, I get it. But at the same time, like, obviously nothing is concrete, right? You have people defending them. Most people were against it, right? I get that. But there are some things that seem too much of a coincidence to be a coincidence for me.
100%.
If you look at the timeline, this is my thing. If you look at the timeline of Harbaugh's coaching tenure at Michigan, up until 2020, I don't think he beat Ohio State. Didn't beat Ohio State. Struggled. They were not good. Like they were okay, but they were not where they are right now. Just so happens the timing of this is where it gets interesting. If y'all remember back 2020, 2021, when the hot seat got hotter for him, right? And there were talks about him going to NFL or this and that. Just so happens that's when they start pulling off the upset of Ohio State and beating them, right? And then beat Penn State and get to the playoffs, and then you do it again. Is it the timing, Keon?
I mean, you also got to think back to the actual 2020 season where they refused to play Ohio State because of COVID, and then turned around. I believe it was either the following day or following weekend. They had a full practice. So it's just a lot of causes for concern at this point. And at this point, you're talking about well, one, let's call it what it is. It's cheating at honestly the highest degree. You have, I mean, allegedly player or coaches sitting on the sidelines with the other team's hand gestures on a laminated card. Like, I don't know if anybody that's listening to this has ever been handed something laminated, but if you have, that shit was not made that day. Like, yeah, I'm saying 9 times out of 10, it wasn't made when you got it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just one of those things to me that I look at, and I think it's very concerning. You're talking about the actual integrity of the game. Now, I think another perspective to look at this is think about it. Those 2 years that you made it to playoffs. I mean, just last year. I mean, to be honest with you, if all of this is true, so you're telling me that last year we could have had our first team in the playoffs with 2 losses, and that would have been Bama?
A lot of weird shit, man. I will say that I think another thing too is if you look at the situation during the regular season, right? These past 2 years, during the regular season, they were unbeatable, right? I mean, obviously they went undefeated regular season, beat Ohio State twice, But then they also dominated Ohio State, right?
Exactly.
But then as soon as you get to the playoffs, Georgia manhandled them. Georgia manhandled Michigan. And then the following year, they end up finding a way to lose to TCU. But the thing about it is, the TCU loss, think about this. Going back to Harbaugh's first few years and before COVID, that was something that was Michigan-esque, if you remember. They would always find a way to fuck around and lose a game like that. And now that you sit here thinking about it, when they, if this is true, if they didn't have access to signals and things like this, it makes sense why they couldn't do the things that they needed to do. They couldn't make adjustments the way they needed to do. But I think the right was on the wall, Keon. I think it
I'm feeling
was.
so.
Because Greg Schiano called it out a while back. I think it was like last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember. PJ Flex made a comments about it. Yeah, it's just, if this is true, there, there's no such thing as too harsh a penalty for this. Like, we've seen some shady shit, right? Like, we've seen it. But this just takes the cake if that's true.
No, 100%. This is like New England Patriots Spygate level,
On
like
steroids, though, man.
on steroids, because you sent these people to everybody on your schedule, and literally everybody in the conference.
Yeah, I think
And
I think they said 11 different teams or something like that, maybe.
you didn't send this shit to damn near everybody in the conference. And then what really gets me is like, think about, like, to me, here's my biggest question to you and even to the fans that are listening. Shout outs to the brigade that's tuned in listening to us now. Drop in the comments, and Rob, I want to get your opinion. What do you think the punishment should be? Is it too steep to say death penalty?
Fuck no. Fuck no. Listen, we saw different, right, recruiting violations and things like that if we're going back to SMU, right, understanding that situation. But the thing about it is, you're the scope of impact on this, right, for
The
3 years.
integrity of the game. The integrity of the game.
Well, think about it. Look at a different sport, baseball, the Black Sox. If you don't familiar,
Ooh, excuse me.
you good. No,
Yes,
I think the
horrible
black,
sneeze.
right, betting on baseball, right? It's not necessarily betting on baseball, but the integrity aspect of it is what the issue is, right? It's an ethics issue. With this right here, if that is found to be true, because to my knowledge, they were saying that they have video evidence in the stadium of them sitting
Mhm.
there. If that's the case, death penalty isn't out of the options. The show cause is going to be fucking insane. But it also tarnishes the legacy of Michigan, or at least I'm not saying Michigan, but I'm saying Harbaugh at Michigan, excuse me.
Oh, 100%.
Definitely is going to stain that, right? But there's also some other things that you can't get back. Think about this. We don't really care for Ohio State too much here, but
Mhm.
CJ Stroud could have been a Heisman winner
Could
had it
have
not been for something
easily,
like this.
bro.
Think about this. Hypothetically, if this happens, and it didn't, say if it didn't happen, Ohio State beats Michigan, go to the 2 spot. Our game against Ohio State would have, instead of Ohio State, would have been Michigan for 1 in the semis. All right, so it's just a lot of things changed, but nonetheless, though, man, it's just it makes you feel skeptical of everyone,
Mhm. And and
everybody.
and see, that's one of the things that I look at, especially with everything now being brought out to light. I mean, if I'm an Ohio State fan and I'm hearing about this, I'm reading it, I'm
Oh, I'm
listening
fucking
to it,
pissed. I'm
I'm
pissed.
fucking pissed,
Well,
bro. You
I mean,
you
Penn
s-
State the
you
same. Penn State the same
absolutely. I mean, because you got to really think, to really be truthful. You're telling me that Penn State could have got into the playoffs?
because they were close. If they would have beat Michigan, they're
They
more
were
like
in.
Well,
They were,
maybe because they would have had to have played Ohio State twice, and I think they would have lost twice. But it opens up the realm of possibility.
yeah. I mean, you're definitely in that space to where you're potentially competing for a playoff spot. And then, yet again, if I'm a Penn State fan and I'm looking at this, like throughout everything that's happened throughout the history of that program, you have so many different opportunities for you to hold Penn State or to hold Michigan accountable for their sins.
Yeah,
Same thing with even Ohio State. Those guys got tattoos and had to self-impose, what was it, self-imposed sanctions?
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like
yeah.
you even look at that and you got to look at where even where we are now, where you're talking about years of cheating that are not only you have a literal paper trail and
Financial
video
transaction.
evidence.
Well, my thing is, how what level is this going to get to? Because again, I'm not pocket watching, but that money had to come from somewhere.
Had to.
So when it comes to financial transactions and stuff like that, there's a chance that the government might get involved. And if you get the FBI or somebody else involved, that's when shit gets nasty.
Yeah, because that's all right. Let's look at tax returns. Let's look at
Well,
spending.
you gonna get
You,
you gonna get a RICO case, man? Possibly.
I mean, honestly,
Not to get too CSI or any type law and order type shit show on here.
but just even then, bro, look at it all. Look at all of what yet again other teams in the same conference have went through. The sanctions they had to, like, yet again. If I'm shit, even Michigan State. There's so many teams within this conference that I know that are pissed. And if I'm Ryan Day, hell no, we're not playing Michigan. Nope. If I'm Penn State, hell no, we're not playing Michigan.
I mean, y'all heard the Pete Thamel right clip that we just posted earlier on here. They were scouting your shit. He was supposed to be there, but didn't. So the intent, they had this shit planned out ahead of time. Like, there's no question about that.
I
Obviously, shit started popping off right before the game, I guess, because he didn't go. But like, if it wouldn't be too hard to go through, I don't know. I'm sure you can go through transactions of ticket sales and stuff, right? And go from there. Because if you do and you see all these tickets or whatever, I feel like there's got to be some kind of network, though, right? These ticket people, right? These T-shirt sales, right? If it seems off, like, because think about it, it's one thing to order like a shirt. So the quantity, right? If we're trying to be business esque here, you'd be on a bulk order of shirts for tickets, hypothetically. You have that many bulk order T-shirts. Just saying. Just saying. Jeff Hightower brings up a good point. He thinks boosters are involved. Maybe so. I'll tell you one thing though. Ain't it funny how a couple years back Harbaugh wanted to accuse Kirby of doing some shady shit, and
I want to know more about this beat Georgia period that I've heard Michigan State fans bring to my forefront and my timeline. I want to know more about that. What do you do?
well, the higher level that everyone was talking about was just trying to find a way to get more physical.
Oh, hmm.
Well,
I wonder.
I think it's coming back to me, and I think I think the Fleck comment though was interesting. He had mentioned something about Michigan being an NFL team. He said that that's an NFL team that could beat an NFL team.
Hmm,
Was he letting us know?
hmm.
Maybe. I mean, listen, for what it's worth, like,
Yo, we are currently experiencing some technical difficulties. My guy is frozen. To the people in the comment section, can you hear DGD? Let me know. Or is it just me? Just let me know. Because to me, he froze out. Um,
And we're back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from around the world. We are back here at the
Technical
DGG
difficulty.
podcast. Technical difficulties averted. 1, 2, 3. Check, check, mic check. That's how we wreck. Can you hear me? Let's do this.
I can hear you. Welcome
Now,
to welcome to
now,
the worst case of technical difficulties.
on God. Now, let's talk about it. Michigan, we're back on your ass.
Yep. Go ahead, take it away, Keon. I'm gonna get situated again.
No, we're gonna do it. So let's talk about it. At the end of the day, I'm really looking at this from multiple aspects. If I'm a fan of really any team in the Big Ten, I'm drawing so many levels for concern because as of now, we're having a bunch of things get posted. Things are getting shared all over the timeline. Yet again, if you have X, if you have Twitter, go ahead, do yourself a favor, search up Michigan. All right. So yet again, do yourself a favor, search it up. I mean, it's there, the knowledge, the information, it's all there for you, honestly. Um, we're seeing a lot of things get spread and it's drawing multiple levels of concern. And I'm just saying this from a person that's outside of the conference. I'm not affected by anything that's going on, nor is my team affected by anything that has happened up to this point. Now I will say this: if I'm an Ohio State fan, I'm a Penn State fan, I'm a Michigan State fan, I'm drawing levels of concern amongst everybody else that's within that same conference about the dignity and the integrity of the game. And when you look at the levels of which they've gone for them to go out here and honestly, let's call it what it is, cheat. It's concerning, especially if you're still left on that schedule. Me personally, if I am a fan of a team that's on Michigan's schedule, I mean, honestly, if I was even the AD for any of those teams that's left on Michigan's schedule, we're not playing it. If I'm Ohio State, pulling it. If I'm Penn State, pulling it.
Could they do that though, legally? I mean, I guess you
I,
could.
I honestly, you could. You could.
I just find it, you know what though, overall, all this, I do find it funny that you had to do the same shit for Maryland and Rutgers.
I mean, Baby Tua really must have had him sweating in their boots. Deontay Banks really must have had him flustered. I don't know.
Must have
He's
been.
out here balling. Just got a pick last Sunday.
I just find it overall funny as shit to be super, super hypocritical though. Like a few years back, you're sitting there, you're talking about how, I mean, literally coming at Georgia and Kirby Smart, and then
Right.
now this has popped up. You should have just told the truth about that burger.
Honestly, I think so. Because I believe, me personally, if they would have just went on that method, you wouldn't have gave them any cause to keep digging. But you sat up here and you took a jab at the NCAA, and guess what? They went snooping. They found some skeletons in that closet.
They found John Wayne Gacy style shit. To be honest,
Yeah, that shit it got nasty in that closet.
Oof. Is there anything else we need to talk about this before we move on to bigger and better things?
I will tell you this: if you are a recruit and you are watching this podcast and you are considering going to Michigan, do yourself a favor.
Think about it. We'll leave it there. We're not going to tell you what to do. Think about it. Think about
it.
All right, are we putting the Michigan shit to bed?
Oh, 100%.
All right, let's move on to bigger and better things. Keon, what if I told you the best way to start Gator Hitter Week is by getting your Apotheos every single morning, get charged up? Guys, dgdpodcast.com. Go to our sponsors. Go to Apotheos. Shop their selection or scan the QR code. If you got it like that, scan the QR code if you're watching. Get you some coffee, folks. 20% of every bag, 20% of every K-Cups that you order goes to the Classic City Collective. So you are literally supporting them dogs when you buy through us, because anything you get, 20% goes to the collective. Using this link specifically, though. But I'll tell you right now, best coffee in the business. Not even a question. Not even a question.
Can't even argue it.
Hell no. Can't do it. Can't do it. I'm not going to. I'll tell you right now. Starbucks. If you drink at Starbucks, I'm sorry for you. I'm just sorry for you. I'm just saying. For what it's worth, extremely good quality coffee, and it's reasonably priced as well. For the price of 3 Starbucks drinks, if that, you get a full bag of coffee. I think that's worth the deal. Give you a chance to get out. Listen, get you away from that Starbucks line. Okay. You sit in that line long enough, you can make your own damn coffee. Simple enough. Thank you, Apotheos, for sponsoring the show.
100%.
Ooh, Keon. Bye week's come and gone. Getting some interesting news that we'll talk a little bit about more with this Wednesday on the second annual Gator Haters Ball. Oh, hate.
Loathe entirely.
I want to ask you, man, are you ready for Wednesday? I said, are you?
It's gonna be great.
Ready?
It's gonna be great. We're gonna be here. I'm probably gonna eat some gator while we have the podcast.
I just want to let the folks know we posted this out on social media, but Wednesday we're gonna open it up for a call-in show.
Ooh.
So Wednesday, if you hate the Gators and you want to let the world know, and you got the confidence to come on here, we're gonna give you the opportunity to come on and let us know. That's all.
Kind of
Let us
like,
know.
Paul Feinbaum.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, first time caller, all time listener. Just got to say, them Gators are dog shit. Okay,
Paul, Paul, Paul.
Paul.
So if you just letting you know, if you feeling froggy, jump on the show Wednesday because we're opening it up. We're
Yep.
opening it up. Should be interesting to see though. I think,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Absolutely.
So just wanted to
Might
make
get
that cool.
might get some Gator fans trying to call in and defend their team.
And let them, because we'll roast them like some fucking,
Gator.
like some, yeah,
Honestly,
like some chestnuts on an open fire. Oh boy,
tis the season.
it's always a season to be a Gator hitter, man. I'll tell you that right
Always.
now. Oh God, I'm looking forward to that, guys. Make sure y'all tune in Wednesday. Just leaving that there.
Definitely. Be here.
Yeah, no doubt. Bye weeks come and gone. Guys getting healthy, man. Some talks, rumblings about maybe seeing Amarius Mims back. Ryder Krause has been getting some run.
Yeah, been reading up on that. Reading up on it.
Bye week came at the right time, Keon.
I'm trying to tell you because now we got guys coming back. I've been hearing a lot about Roderick and his progress. Yet again, still wishing him a speedy recovery. Because I'm gonna tell you, if we can get him on the field Saturday, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think you're right. I think I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Another Jacksonville matchup. I think you're gonna be down there, ain't you?
No, I'm not gonna make it to this trip. Not gonna make it to this one, but it might be for the best because I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna sit back, have me a couple of cervezas, all of the vases.
I see what you're saying. It's a good call.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm telling you, Dos Equis is gonna take the way. Dos Equis sponsors the show. Seriously.
Sponsor Keon all you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Free ad while we're at it.
You know what I'm saying? Shout outs.
Oh man, the cookout. Love it.
We don't have one out here, man. I keep hearing about the cookout, man. I gotta.
Boy, I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Cookout trays, man. It is what it is. But no. So let's move forward, man. So Georgia's got a pretty daunting back half of the schedule, right after the bye week. Obviously, we're in Florida. We're in Florida week, but after that, you host Mizzou. Ole Miss comes to town, right? You got Tennessee. You had the trip to Tennessee, by the way, and then obviously you got a trip to Georgia Tech. Listen, this preseason, man, a lot of people were like, Georgia's schedule is soft as shit. People also didn't look at Michigan's schedule, by the way, but I digress. But looking at it now, man, things are looking a little bit different. Should.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see how everything goes. I'm looking at our schedule, the back half, and saying, you know what, this is really where we need our guys to really lock in and be ready to go. Yet again, as just like I've been saying since week one, really, as the season goes on, our guys are going to come back healthier and healthier. So I'm excited. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting, too, as Jeff says, you're playing it safe.
I'm not going to lie to you. Between the loud noises and barking, it might be best for me to be at the house. Not going to lie. Might be best.
I just don't know if I want to be associated with people rocking fucking jorts and pit vipers.
Yeah, not really. Cut off already cut off shirts. It's not how you cut off a sleeveless shirt.
You find a fucking way. That's what you do.
Yeah, I guess it's horrible.
You know what though? You kind of rock the I guess the only way to do that would be rocking like the Andre the Giant singlet. You know what I mean? A little
Yeah.
strap like this right here, something maybe, or wear it like this right here with a little flap hanging over.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's all I can think of. But yeah, if you rock jorts here, sorry, you can go fuck yourself.
Please.
Hold on, if you don't want to hear me say it, then how about this?
Fuck yourself.
Exactly, Florida fans. If you don't want to hear me say it, you don't want to hear Keon say it, listen to that.
Yeah.
Listen to that. This is all you got to feel about it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people need to hear that, but I digress on that too. What are you looking forward to, Keon, the most coming out of this bye week, man? I think for me, right, I'm looking at the potential to see a different offense.
Yep.
That intrigues me a lot.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm looking at us offensively at the possibility to go out there, of course, four wide and really run it up from that aspect. But one thing that I'm really locked in on for this Florida game, I am so excited to see what our running game is going to look like, what our running back rotation is going to look like. Because these guys that have been here, Edwards, he's been the between Edwards and Dylan Bell, man, you really have these guys really being the workhorses of our running back room for the most part of the season so far. I'm excited what adding another running back will do to the rest of these guys as far as, their energy, keeping them at a high vibration. And honestly, just setting them up to just run through a motherfucker's face over and 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 over again.
This isn't a by the way, this wasn't a skip CD. This was just what it's going to happen.
Like I need damage. I need mayday. I need guys just running through shit. I'm excited for this, man. Oh my god.
Keon, I just saw this. I was sitting there kind of casually scrolling. I see Chase's comment. I want to get to that. We said we were done with this, but I was reading through it and I saw Graham Coffey and said the Venmo for Connor Stallion shows a transaction for GA, and I think you mentioned this literally being the next day, and it's showing the recruiting intern for Michigan based off of a LinkedIn profile. Yeah, that evidence is getting piled up quick. I think I just leave it there. We'll leave it there. Yeah. But I just thought that was interesting to see. Chase White, though, getting back on track here. Delp finally gets to be the pass catching tight end.
Yeah.
You know what though? Yes.
Don't tell me that you think.
No,
keep going.
I'm interested to see 12 personnel with the receiver or the tight ends that we have now with Delp and Lawson Lucky.
Okay.
I think 12 personnel could be very interesting because now you have two. Lawson's more of a. I'm not saying he's an inline blocker. Lawson's a legit dude.
Yeah.
But I think what's going to happen is you have two options at tight end that can go and be receivers. I think Delp fits more of the slot guy. What Bowers was doing.
Yeah.
But Lawson Lucky is your in-line guy that can also be sneaky enough to run routes because that dude can run some routes too, folks. Like he can run some routes. He is good. But I think what I'm more excited about though, Rara and Dominic Lovett came here for this fucking reason.
100%.
They came here for this reason. It's time to go. It is time to fucking go.
I'm just wondering what type of spectacular catch we're about to watch Marcus make. Because that toe tap falling out of the end zone.
That was Rara.
No, wait. That was
Rara. That was
Rara?
You're talking about Marcus in the Tennessee game last year?
No, I was talking
about Rara this year.
Oh, that was in the Kentucky game?
That was Rara.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My bad.
Look, Marcus Roseby can toe tap it, get 10 toes down too. Sorry, Dion.
But honestly, I just think it's going to be a really good game, man. I'm excited to see those three guys come out there. I think Marcus, honestly, I like to see him catch passes in space because he runs so aggressively through contact. I think that's going to be one of the main things that we're going to see. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you, Florida fans. Y'all better be ready. I mean, there's no other way.
Well, I think this is another point. I want to bring this up here, and then I got one. Chase White says Roseman hates Florida from the injury. Yeah, I
I
think
mean, plus he's from Florida.
yes, I think there's some redemption for him to be made here in this game. I do. I definitely think so. But I'm going to a name that we ain't brought up for, man, and I don't know why. Lad McConkey's getting back almost closer to healthier, 100% health.
I think so. I
I mean, he's getting more run. He's gradually increasing the workload, but I think he's going to be the guy
mm-hmm.
when Carson Beck is on a third down situation. He's going to be that go-to guy. That's just I might be wrong. I would love for it to be any one of these guys. I just want to see it be successful. Period. But old faithful, Lad McConkey. Let me see that.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Let me see that. With that being said, I think another thing that I'm excited to see is now you have a situation where you're going to have to put more on Carson Beck's shoulders, so it's going to force him to grow up and develop faster too. Chase with an interesting comment. Holy. And for some odd reason, he feels like Arian Smith will have a game. You know what? I would love to see that. But I feel as if CJ Smith would have a game.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. If
Anthony Evans, too. Give me that.
yeah, I'm looking at Anthony Evans, Texas native like myself. What if this is the game? Here, hold on. What if this is the game where Anthony Evans goes crazy, Dylan Bell goes crazy, Andrew Paul?
God, you
Question mark.
thinking nothing but Texas. Boy, you think Texas is going off, huh?
Uh,
A.D. Mitchell would come
Mike,
back for one game and go off.
hey, I bet he wish he was here now.
Justin Williams going to suit up for some reason at John Ye. Like, they'll come in like, where'd you come from? Shh.
Just give me your helmet.
Yeah, Chase says he definitely wants Evans and CJ Smith to play more. I think, you know what, though, to certain degrees, though, give me Anthony Evans in the return game.
Please. I know he can hold on to the ball. No shot, Makai, but it's a shot, Makai. You got to hold on to the ball, Brody. Because truth be told, if you don't hold on to the ball, they're going to put Lad McConkey back there, and all Buddy finna do is wave and catch it. He going to be waving to us. That's it.
I mean, listen, if we don't fumble the ball and don't muff punts and shit, hey, I'll take it for what it's worth. But I like seeing guys try to get some return yards off of it though too.
Me too, man.
Chase brings up Meeks. Man, that's a name that I ain't heard much out of. Like, that's chalk it up to one of those guys that might get some run if the game's out of hand. I just don't see it. I mean, it's just me, but I mean, I think you've got to get with the first game without Bowers, like
You
officially
put
without
up,
Bowers.
yeah,
You've got to get Ladd and Dom and Marcus. You got to get those guys clicking
immediately.
and I think what that means is you let those guys play, get some run, get comfortable there, just find out what's going on. You're still going to rotate. I'm not going to say you're not, but
Exactly.
I just don't know if you see guys like Meeks and I just don't know if you see it. I mean, if we start to blow them out, then sure. But like, if Carson Beck's in there, I don't know if you see a guy like Meeks. Just
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to the offensive game plan, like we have to come out aggressive. Bobo, yet again, if you're watching this, we need to come out aggressive. I'm talking scoring on the first drive. Like we have to set the tone early. Um, that's what I would love to see me
well, see,
personally.
my thing is, we see this is the fun part. You ready for this?
Uh,
This is why I think I'm gonna save most of this for Wednesday because we do
hmm,
need to talk about it. Having a head coach, a defensive coordinator, and an offensive coordinator that all played for Georgia and got beat by Florida. They're out for fucking blood, as my man Chris Mahler says. Like,
yeah.
let them get in their bag. I wouldn't say, first play flea flicker. I don't know if you do that. I don't think you do that.
Who would the flea? Here's the real question. Let's entertain it. Let's entertain it. Who's the flea flicker to?
Lab McConkey. Lab McConkey
Uh,
on a double move.
I would say Arian Smith.
No, he ain't gonna be on first play.
If you're doing a flea flicker and you need somebody to cut up field fast,
Mm-mm.
I
I get your point, but Lab McConkey on a double move, let him burn
yeah,
timber.
yeah. If that's here's the thing. If that's the first play that we pull, that lets me know that Bobo's finna be on bullshit the whole game. We like that is all right. Yeah, no, we're really about to do this to you. Front page.
Chase has a ladder, love it. I mean, dude, the thing about it is you've got to understand, and I know you know this, but Lab McConkey on double moves, lethal.
Yes.
Lethal. I mean, listen, all it takes is for the offensive line to get after it. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you right now, way too early. Florida's going to send 7 in the box. Watch, they're going to try
Oh,
to overload
100%.
it, send pressure. So while we're talking about a first play flea flicker, you also might see a bubble screen. You might just see it. Because I mean, you're going to have to force them to expand, like spread out and take out of the box. Like you're going to have to. You're going to have to get them to allocate sources out because they're like, listen, I don't think they have the personnel to win with 6 in the box like Georgia does. So you're going to have to add that extra guy in the box. With that being said, you've got to hit one-on-ones. You've got to do these things. So you might not have the time initially, but I wouldn't be surprised if a flea flicker does come out. I think you know what though? If I'm being more serious about it, I think you're going to see play action be extremely effective, especially not just the Florida game, moving forward. Because with Bowers in, we still did play action, right? But with the receivers now, it gives them more time to create separation if you do play action. However, you're also going to more than likely see more blitzes, more designed stunts and all these things to try to confuse Carson Beck. Now, the thing is, this is where having an experienced offensive line comes into play because from a protection, it's a matter of Mike ID and being able to slide the protection to accommodate, right, and give Carson the time.
And I think that's why even for us having Cedric there leading that role is going to be very important because he's going to
Mm-hmm.
be able to diagnose that from up front. Just like you said, to be able to slide the protections. Uh man.
Well, you still got to understand too that like if you go 11 personnel, there could be a chance where you see 7, and even the backer gets right. Even the backer gets overloaded, right? So you're going to have to see some short passes that are effective, and this is where perimeter blocking comes into play too. Perimeter blocking is going to have to be on par and up better. So maybe it is Lawson Lucky that could be your blocker in space, from
Well,
a tight end perspective.
if we get Mims back in the fold, that definitely does help us in that sense.
No, it does. No, it completely does. I just think that for what it's worth, if you want to help Carson out, right, pull the tight ends off the line right? Because not only are you getting dealt in space where he thrives at, and so can Lawson, you're putting them right there, but you're also forcing a backer out or a safety to come down and play and cover the tight end, right? So you're allocating. It's basically an addition by subtraction, right? So you pull that guy out of the box, right? If you pull him out in the slot right there, and then you say you run. I mean, you can run into the gap at 6, right? You could. If you go 5 or 6 in the box, you can easily make a run play off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't respect it, right? If you want to keep the inline guy and let them put 7 on the box, right? 7 in the box, it's going to be hard to run the game. Like, it's hard to do. Over under is Wednesday. That is our official prediction show. So Wednesday we will hit over unders. So
I want to know, did I close the gap?
we shall see Wednesday, sir.
Yeah,
We shall.
Y'all
Well,
need to.
well, keep in mind, we go week by week, and we had the bye week, so there were no over unders this past week.
Yeah.
So we're not because we started midseason, Keon. We're not doing a score count. We're just going week by week.
Oh, okay.
If it's something that we keep doing, then I sure next week maybe do a over under count too. Maybe I don't know. Figure that out as we go. It's a fun part of this, man. You just do shit as you want, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chase says he'd love to see Delp out wide on a full spread. Dude, tell me how an empty backfield would. Give me empty backfield.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man. I'm so excited.
Because hypothetically, you would have Ladd, Dom, probably Delp, Dylan Bell. Put him. You could literally convert him from the running back into the 5th man. Do a 3x2 or a 4x1. Would do it. I'll tell you right now, layers concept out of a 4x1 would be fucking dirty.
But you also got to think too, because Bobo's looking at all of this shit. Because I think honestly, like if I could be all the way honest, I don't believe that up until this point, I don't really believe that Bobo really dipped into his bag yet.
No need. Well, you could have argued there are certain times where you should have, but for the most part, no necessary need to.
Trying to tell you, and I think it's going to be one of those ones that's going to help us moving forward. Also have to say this as well, since we were talking about Texas earlier. If you are watching baseball at this moment, the Texas Rangers are beating the life out of the Astros. Just going to leave that right there.
Well, there's your baseball, folks. There's your baseball.
Just going to leave it there.
We hadn't even talked about defense, Keon. We haven't even talked about defense. I cannot wait to get Mike Hill healthier. But we need to see who's going to be pass rusher, right? We need to find a pass rusher. But one name that I'm excited to see, and it's free 52.
Yeah.
Give me Krista Miller. Expand his run. Snap counts, please. Please do.
Just give him more burn.
I think he's that disruptive guy in the inside, man. And that's going to be much needed.
Honestly, I think it's going to help us down the stretch. 100%.
Gotta have to, man. Like I like all the guys, but none of them are consistent enough to be a true like force that you need. I mean, you can rotate. Like, it's good to have the quality depth. I'm not gonna lie. At run game, we have been dominant. But the thing about it is, you're not generating sacks. You're not getting force play, like havoc plays, right? You're not getting to the quarterback enough. You know what I mean? So that's just my thought. Jeff's letting you know about the Astros. Chase says Michael and Christian. Yeah, dude, that'd be. What would your four down lineman be if you had your preference on this?
So I'm gonna run dream scenario. I'm going Mikel, Christian, Brinson. Ooh, I'm I'm gonna have to go Stackhouse.
So who would be your edge? Who would be your in there?
I'm gonna put Mikal on my edge. So wait, you asking me who
Who
would
would your
both play?
if you had your way? What would the 4 down linemen be?
I'm gonna go Mikal, Christian. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm gonna go Walker. I'm gonna go Walker because I want to see him get more burn at that position. Um, and honestly, I would honestly say because I'm kind of caught because I would put Brinson in there as well. Hmm. Honestly, don't know because I'm still battling it out in my mind. On do I want to put Walker or Jones? I don't know. You might have to come back to me on that one. You might have to
So Chase says he'd have Michael, Christian, Jordan Hall, and Jalen Walker.
see. I like that. I do.
See, here's
But
mine. Here's mine. You got to have Michael. It all starts with Michael, right?
mhm.
I think you look at Kristen Miller, Warren Brinson, and give me Marvin Jones Jr. I think Marvin Jones Jr. can be that guy to set the edge. Now, keep in mind, I do like Jalen Walker off the edge pass rushing, right? So you're going to see the rotation. I get that. I do. But overall, I think I'd like to see more Gabe Harris. I
Get
would
him
like
in
to see
the
more Gabe Harris. However, there's a name we haven't really heard or seen much of that should be coming back, and that's Darius Smith. You need to get that man on the field. He's just too freakish to not to be on the field. It's kind of like Xavier Sawyer, except you know what I mean. Like Xavier Sawyer is too much of a freak athlete to really get a feel for where he really needed to go, but he's starting to figure it out, and I'm on board for that.
I keep trying to tell it. I'm telling you, as the season goes on, we're gonna get healthier. And when that happens, it's gonna be doomsday. It's gonna be doomsday.
And there's no reason to hold anything back at this point because you've got some serious matchups. Like
Like it's about to be bad, man. It's
Like
oh
come out and make a statement against Florida. Come out and do that. Then you go to Missouri.
no, we come home to Missouri.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Then we move our attention to Missouri,
yeah.
right? Get after Brady Cook, right? I'm telling you now, I would love to see someone shut down because keep in mind Missouri's got a potent ass offense, and
100%.
and listen, Burden's having a fucking year,
Yeah,
but don't forget about Theo Weiss.
right.
Don't forget about that man. So they've got a legit duo.
And people really have to keep it honest. Like Cook is actually cooking. Like he's doing pretty damn well for
Well,
himself over there.
another thing too, though. Look at this, Georgia's back half, dude. That secondary is about to find out what the fuck they're made of for sure.
No, a
Because
hundred percent.
you got Florida with Pearsall, right? Pierce, listen, we hate Florida like normal, but Pearsall's legit.
Yes.
Pearsall is legit.
No, that's a dude. That is a guy right there.
So you got Pearsall, and but I think I don't worry about the run game nearly as much anymore. I think the run game, for what it's worth, will be okay.
Yeah, I don't see Travis really getting off like that, honestly.
You mean Trevor
Trevor, sorry. I'm looking at
and Montrell
highlights.
and Montrell?
I am looking at highlights. Also, however, if you're paying attention to Monday Night Football and you had some sense about yourself looking at that matchup, thinking that, oh, 49ers are playing Minnesota, they're going to get smacked. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised.
Oof. I'm assuming
Yeah.
it's probably something completely different.
Yeah, Minnesota is winning 22-17.
That's still a good game. Well, yeah, because San Francisco's moving the ball right now. They've got the ball, so they got to score. But either way,
Yeah.
let's think about this. Looking ahead to these other games, who or what unit, either side of the ball, don't matter, are you needing to step up the most?
So I'm going to give you 2 for the offensive line. That's going to be 1.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the running backs.
Okay. So you're staying on offense side of here.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things for us, I think we're going to go out there and truly establish a running game. And then from there, that's of course is going to open up for us to pass the ball. But I do think a lot of what you're going to see out of Florida, they're going to be sending multiple blitz packages.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of them standing in, and I think you'll see that too throughout, right? I think teams are going to try to work that to make him uncomfortable now that they know Bowers is not there. So there is that. I think if I did my 2, Keon, I'm going to say tight end room.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see some production in the wake of the injury, right? Ultimately, listen, I want the receivers to step up too, right? I do. I think the receivers, we have the weapons to make that happen. But I do want to see these tight ends grow and show me what you're made of, right? We know Delp can go catch the ball, but I want to see I want to see how they use him, right? And how the offense works around the fact that Bowers is not there.
100%.
And then on defense, I need the defensive line to step up and be more dominant in pass rush situations. Listen, run game, I'm not mad at all. I'm never going to complain about that, even though we felt like it needs to be better. I just want to see more pass rush and havoc. If that happens, I'm completely content with the D-line.
100%.
You just set the edge. I mean, a lot of it, like we look at Auburn, it is a big game where they ran for 200 on us, but a lot of it was multiple chunk plays where setting the edge costs us.
Yep.
So if we're able to do that, ultimately I just want to – it's walking the fine line. You know what I mean? You want to be aggressive and rush the passer, but then the mobile quarterback gets you, right? Because you've got Dart that can run at Ole Miss looking ahead. Joe Milton can run. Haynes King potentially, but we're not worried about fucking Tech too much right now, at least.
No, not at all.
So you've got some mobile quarterbacks on the schedule.
Yeah.
So you want to keep that in mind. However, if you're able to set the edge, I think he's shedding blocks, sustaining blocks on the interior, just complimentary football, man. Sustain a block, eat the lot. For instance, a guard. If you're one or the nose or 3 tech, eat space and allow the linebackers to flow, and then it just gap assignments. Things like that is what makes Georgia's defense so special. And if you get that going the way it needs to be and where we know it should be, I'm not too worried about that anymore.
100%.
Because then you get into third and long situations, and that's when you let guys just go. That's where you let them go. Chase White said, Harry Leggy, what's calling Harry? He says on defense, edge. Yeah. I mean, and then Chase says D-line and linebackers. Yeah, I think our linebackers play has gotten better. I just
100%.
think that I do think you've got to be able to get off of blocks and avoid blocks. But again, that stems sometimes to D-line, right? If you're not eating space and holding the guard right where they can't break free and get to the second level, it fills the holes, right? That opens up holes if you're not there. So, yeah, backyard football scrambles defy scheming, though. Yeah, no wrong. You're not wrong there. Keon, we're saving a little bit, but we got to save some for Wednesday. Just a reminder, guys, we got some folks in the brigade still chatting. Keep in mind, we're opening up the show Wednesday for call-ins, so keep that in mind. You'll have a link to come on and talk your shit. I'm okay with that. It's what we do.
Definitely.
What we do. What we
Can't
do.
wait to hear you. Can't wait to communicate with some of y'all that are here.
Mm-hmm.
shout outs to the brigade, man.
You
Shout
know,
outs.
Juan Daniels is going to be here. I think it should be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if
I'm
y'all can make
looking
Juan
at.
laugh again.
I'm telling you, you can go ahead and pencil me in for a solid 3 Juan laughs at least. I'm taking over on 3.
There's your over-under for the show.
And there it is. I'm probably gonna get 5. I'm
That's a
not gonna
push. That's a
lie.
push. That's a push.
No, no, I'm telling you, I'm counting it. I'm getting
Well,
at least. I'm
to
getting
some
at
degree,
least 4.
to some degree, Juan's gotten better at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gotten better at it to some degree. You get the right folks in here, though, and all bets are off.
There you go.
Harry did bring up a point. Dogs get back Mims and Trust. We didn't mention Trust.
Big Trust.
I'll tell you what, though, man. I genuinely think coming in Florida, moving on from left to right, I think you got Ernest Green, right? You got Ernest, Fairchild, Cedric, Tate, Mims. I think that's the 5. It should be the 5.
It should be. It should be. It should be.
And Chase is reiterating what I'm thinking. So there's that.
Yeah.
Keon, before we get into this, we've talked for over an hour now. We're gonna bring up our second sponsor of the night, and that's Alumni Hall. Guys, all your licensed Nike gear, Cutter and Buck, all that stuff, you can find it at Alumni Hall, right? Go onto the website, dgpodcast.com, sponsor drop down, Alumni Hall, shop their selection. Guys, it's getting cold outside. It's getting cold. Get your hoodies, get all your stuff that you need now while you can before all that stuff gets sold out. And you also give them a follow at Alumni Hall UGA, Twitter and Instagram. And let them know DGD sent you. Also, if you're in store, if you go to Alumni Hall in Athens, mention the show, mention DGD Podcast, 10% off your order. In store only, though. So keep that in mind as well.
Go ahead and get your Air Maxes, man. Them things are so comfortable. I love them. I love them.
Yep. Now, something else that we love here. Keon, you ready for it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Our favorite Monday segment here. Your team is trash, and you have to deal with that. And boy, were there a lot of them. Oh, there were a lot of them.
I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, thank you. Who is it? Who do I want first? There's so many options.
Yeah.
I'm going for one. Tater Man, how you doing? How you feeling, man? You let Miami come back and beat you. Double overtime win. Yikes. It's deeper than that, though, isn't it? It's deeper than that. Your head coach wants to get rid of the bandwagon fans. Talks about maybe maybe purposely losing a game or two to get that wagon less heavy. You know what I mean? Get some of that weight off. My question to you is, did he throw the game? Did he? Because you should have beat Miami, but you didn't. So either you threw that game or your team is just not where it needs to be. And Clemson fans, it's okay. Sometimes good things must come to an end. And your old faithful head coach there, Dabo Roastery, I think it's time, man. I think it's time. Klubnik literally defied the play call to lose you the game. Turn the ball over, right? I mean, he owned up to it. Said he should have given it to him. He pulled it anyway. What's the problem, though? You're 4-3. You got Notre Dame still. There's a good chance you might be 7-5. Might be 7-5. It's crazy how 2 years changes things, don't it? Just letting you know that. I think it's best if you let Dabo go, because he's showing his colors, man. He's too stubborn to make changes and adapt to the game, and it's gonna cost you winning seasons, folks. It's going to cost you ACC titles. It's going to cost you chance for the playoffs. I'm here to let you know that I think you need to start thinking about life after Dabo. But in the meantime, Clemson, Tater Man, your team is trash. And you have to fucking deal with that.
I'm going to be all the way honest with you. That was one that I did not expect that you were going to start out with. But since we're here, let's just go ahead and lock all the way in. So, Duke. Hi, Duke. You're a fucking basketball school, Duke, with a football program. I've heard nothing but hype about Duke this entire season, coming into the season. You're still not better than my Tar Heels in basketball. Let it be known. And apparently, you just got smacked by Florida State in football, 38-20. Riley Leonard, bring that ass here. I was hearing hype about you. You're supposed to be better than Daniel Jones. And you went out here and you went, what is this, 7 for 16? You didn't even throw for 100 yards? And you got a pick? Y'all were supposed to win the game? How are you going to win the game? Explain that to me. They got Keon Coleman over here cooking. Duke in football and basketball. Duke, your team is trash, and you have to deal with that. Bang, bang, Tar Heel gang.
Speaking of them damn Tar Heels, you want to talk shit about my Blue Devils, Keon? It's time. North Carolina, bring that fucking ass here. Bring that ass here. How does a top 10 team, how does a top 10 team lose to one, if not the worst, Power 5 programs in the country, Virginia? How you let them do that? At home, on the CW network. The CW network. Not ESPN, nothing. CW network. You might call it a break because nobody really fucking watched you lose because it's the CW network. But you ain't getting off that easy. Nope. Nope. We knew you ain't had no defense. We knew this. But now we have to listen on behalf of all the college football fans. Have to let Miami fans talk reckless. They just beat Clemson. You just lost to goddamn Virginia. And now we have to hear them talking about we might make it to fucking Charlotte. I ain't trying to hear that. I'm just speaking on behalf of most everybody else. Thanks, Tar Heels, for fucking that one up. Thank you for fucking that up. You deserve it. You played like shit. Ain't no other way to put it. Drake May is the only thing keeping y'all relevant because outside of Drake May, your team is absolute fucking trash, and you absolutely have to fucking deal with that. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Bring it back to me real quick. I got another one for us. We about to bring it back to the conference. Hold on.
Hot and heavy.
Yeah, let's do this. Hey, Shane. How you doing? Heard you're a real stand-up guy. Can you explain to me how and why the fuck y'all just got walked down by Missouri? You want to explain that? I mean, Missouri. And not only did they just like beat y'all, they beat the hell out y'all. 34-12. Spencer Rattler. Here's your stats. 23 of 40. 217 passing yards and one interception. You got Cook, didn't even have 200 passing yards. Belt to ass. It's a shame. Once, you can get some decency about yourself, can get your team moving in the right direction, not blowing leads for the second consecutive. Well, I can't even say blowing leads because you really was just getting your ass kicked the entire game. But, which makes it even worse. Like, y'all were supposed to be the second best team in the conference. That's what I was hearing. That's what I was seeing all over the timeline. And y'all came out there and turned into exactly what you are. Fried chicken. Because your ass got cooked. Shane Beamer, Spencer Rattler. Your team is trash. And you have to deal with that. I actually got one more for us since we're really here. Because I really want us to zero in on this. Can we talk about it? 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 You're muted. You're muted.
My bad.
I got one more
I
for
do.
us.
I do too. I do too.
This might we is it in the conference?
It's in the conference. We're on the same page.
Oh yeah. Let's do this. We got to do this one together. All right, you start it out. All right.
Hey, Tennessee. Brink, come here. Come here. Hey, if only football was played in 30-minute increments and not 60. Right? Oh, you had him. Unfortunately, Heupel's true colors showed, and the defense gave up 27 unanswered in the second half to Alabama. And you toted a big ass fucking L out of damn Bryant Denny Stadium. Keon, let them know, man.
It's a game of 4 quarters, and they put all 4 corners of their foot into that ass. Tennessee. I hate to do this.
I
I
don't hate to
don't.
do it. I don't
I
fucking
don't
hate to do
have.
it at all.
I mean, but it is what it is. Josh Heupel, Joe Milton, Bazooka Joe. Your team is trash, and you got to deal with that. But see, that's not even where it stops. Because we got one more. We got one more. You ready?
Do it.
Sam Pittman, Pit Boss, Pit Man, Pit Maestro, the Pitinator, Bacon Bits. It is over for you. Can't believe it at all. You went out here and put up 3 points. 3 damn points. Are we serious? Are we serious? You couldn't score 2 field goals? I get you fired Dan Enos. I get that. Cool, fine. I understand. But Pit Boss, Pit Man, Pit Maestro, it's not working. The offensive line is absolute terrible. KJ is getting attacked from all corners and crevices of that offensive line. I mean, they literally couldn't hold water in a bucket if they got thrown into the Pacific Ocean. I hate to say this. Not really. But pit boss, pit man, pit maestro, your team is trash. And you have to deal with it. Jesus.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Trojan man, bring that ass here. I'm not done with you.
Man.
I'm not done. Not done. Do they look nice? Just gonna leave that there. You lost again. Ah, Lincoln Riley, when will you learn? When will you learn? I love it. Because people are starting to understand that Lincoln Riley is a fucking fraud. He is. It's ironic you lose to Utah. Where's JG when you need her? Damn. You made Utah with a backup quarterback win that game, right? At the same time, you got people sitting there, Caleb Williams. Listen, we already knew he was out of the Heisman running, period. But now you're out of the fucking playoffs. Ain't no reason. You're out of the conference title picture.
Playoffs?
I know.
Playoffs?
We're talking playoffs. See?
We can't even win a damn game.
Can't beat Utah, that's for damn sure. Made me look stupid. We'll talk about that Wednesday. We'll go there too. But anyways, you know, ain't it just a shame that you go from one defense where you'd probably be an All-American right now to already losing 2 games in middle October? I don't know. Who would... I'm sure there's got to be an example of that, Keon. I just don't know who the fuck's going on with it. But USC. Your team is trash. You have to fucking deal with that for sure.
There's no way around it.
Did we miss anyone else? Does anyone else need to be told?
No, next week they will. Next week they will hear it. This week, I say next week, but this week they're going to hear it. They are going to hear it.
Penn State. James Franklin lost another game, man. Another big game. He can't come through and win the game. That Vanderbilt season is looking more and more dull each year that goes past. Just going to leave that there. Let's see. I think outside of that, man, let's get ready for the Gator Hitters Ball Wednesday.
100%.
Yeah, I think it's time we do that. With that being said, go ahead.
I just want to close us out by saying it's here. It's game week. Gator Hitter Ball week. I can't wait to come back Wednesday. Y'all better call in. I'm looking at every last one of y'all. Y'all better call in. I'm excited for this.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
I'm trying to tell you. But
Mary, hold on. Comment of the night right here. They stole my computer and crashed it. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good one. Harbaugh doesn't like our conversation. Spies shut us down. 100% true. 100% true. All right. For now, Miriam, we are finished. Listen, we've got some folks in the brigade. Same time, Wednesday. I need y'all here.
Yep.
We need y'all here.
Yep.
We need y'all here.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Call in.
Yes, I'd like to report a murder. It's called it's in Jacksonville, Florida. 10 o'clock, Harry. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Same time, Monday, Wednesday, 10 p.m. If you like the content, follow, subscribe. Let people know first off. Word of mouth, guys. It gets around a lot faster if you help us spread the word of the show, right?
Yeah.
Listen, you catch uncensored stuff here. Like you got a lot of these podcasts, and I'm not knocking it. I love a lot of those guys, man. They do some real good work.
They do.
Get you a little bit uncensored here. All right, it's
Yeah.
DGD After Dark. Yes.
Put the
No,
kids to bed.
Harry, 2000? No, I think you're talking about military time. It's 2200 if you're talking military time.
Yep.
Eastern.
Yeah. Put the babies to bed.
Oh,
Pour
just
you up
getting,
something nice.
Miriam,
And come and
Miriam,
join us.
Miriam said it was just getting good. Oh, you think this was good?
Oh yeah.
You just wait. You just wait. You just, Miriam, I'll follow us on the socials, guys.
Yeah.
Socials at the DGD podcast. We're going to be posting some clips from last year's Gator Haters Ball in the meantime. Well, we had Juan Daniels fucking busting up.
Yeah.
Man was dying. But no, if you like the content, make sure to listen, spread the word, let folks know. Like, follow, subscribe. That obviously helps too. It's free. Takes a second of your time. If you're listening on the podcast, right? Leave us a review. Leave us a review. Do I cuss too much? Maybe so. But I'll never know if you don't let us know. If I need to tone it back, I can do that, I guess. Guess I could have to do that, though, if that needs be. Other than that, Keon, oh, man. I'm so ready.
Me too.
I'm ready for this walk back to a 3-peat. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Dogs on top, baby. Peace.
With that being said, have a great night and go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Dogs on top.